to start that like before you even notice it's like,
So they were hoping
movement over residents and
Yeah.
all that.
Feel my Airbnb be able to take that. That would
Wouldn't
have
have fight figured us.
You'd had to switch.
Where we're gonna go.
See if we can get a
I'm gonna
thumbs
miss
up.
graduation day. We're gonna be in Alabama.
If you're ready.
Mobile.
Yep.
And then probably New Orleans. Have you ever been there? New Orleans? I think we should stay in a town outside. So you've been driving New Orleans?
Maybe I should just stand out there until I see it.
A thumbs up. Yep. Gary, just give me.
Okay. Right on the welcome. This is a meeting we look forward to every year because we get to see some of the stars graduating. And it's a wonderful event. I should tell you, we have a very dedicated board member tonight who is dealing with some back issues. So if Tina gets up and moves around, it's not because she objects to what you're saying or is not interested, it's she's trying to get comfortable. So if you would indulge her that way. And with that, I'll turn it over to Kevin.
Well, thank you, Dave. It's great to see everyone here tonight, and I'd like to welcome everyone watching our live stream this evening. Hope everybody had a great spring break. Hopefully this warm-up will stick around, and hopefully it'll dry out a little bit, too. Real quick, before we get started tonight, just want to remind the community and everyone here tonight of the upcoming 2026 VCS bond election, which will be held on May 5th over by Adam. You can see we have some boards and some information. There's some cards on that table if you're interested in more bond information. I'm highly encouraging everyone to go to our website and check out the bond video that we made that highlights all those projects. And I want to thank some students that helped me out. Maya, you can watch her on the big screen. She did a great job. So again, please vote. The vote is by May 5th, but please vote as soon as you can. I appreciate that. Very excited to kick off our recognition season for the class of 2026. It's a great time to celebrate the success of our seniors and also at the same time to thank our hardworking VCS staff for pushing these kids to the finish line. So I want to thank our staff as well. So seniors, how many days left? Someone doesn't know exactly. So we're going with 38?
they like it so much, they just want to stay.
Oh, they wish it's more than 38, is that what you're saying, Mr.
They're
President?
thinking
Yeah.
June 5th with everybody else.
We can vote on that as a board. If you want us
Oh,
to.
congratulations, seniors, for sure, and I hope your last days at VCS are extremely memorable. Make the best of them. I'm going to turn it over to VHS Principal Mr. Brush for this special recognitions this evening. Mr. Brush.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. O'Neill, members of the Vicksburg Board of Education, for this opportunity to celebrate an extraordinary group of seniors. It is an honor to recognize them this evening. Over the past 4 years, these students have set a remarkable standard. Of our 15 summa cum laude graduates, each have earned a GPA above 4.15, an achievement that speaks their discipline, resilience, and commitment to excellence. Collectively, they have completed more than 150 AP and dual enrollment courses, consistently choosing to challenge themselves at the highest levels. What makes this group truly exceptional, though, is how they have balanced academic rigor with meaningful involvement beyond the classroom. They are leaders in athletics, the arts, student organizations. They have performed on stages, competed on fields, supported peers, worked jobs, and give back to the community, all while maintaining unwavering focus on their goals. They represent the very best of Vicksburg High School, talented, driven, and deeply connected to the world around them. Before I introduce them, I have to tell them how many real days of school you have left. Because I have a senior, and he knows, 22.
What?
22 real days of school.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Adeline, you got to be so excited right
I
now. You
know,
went from
right?
38 down to 22.
So, 22 more wake-ups. All right? First up, Renzel Arroyo. Renzel is this
So pretty much weekly we have hourly rehearsals, and I'm the section leader for the violas. And then on top of that, I do chamber gigs. So I have a little quartet and we meet in addition to rehearsals, and then we have performances throughout the years. So kind of expanding my musical prowess, I'd say.
Awesome. You're also an Excellence in Education Award winner. Who was your significant educator and why?
So I brought my KMZ math teacher this year, Mr. Alshiri. He's both my calculus teacher and my physics teacher. I think that he's really just like kind of brought in what I wanted to do in college. I never wanted to do physics in college, but I think that he's like really changed how I see like what I see mathematics is like. So that's kind of where I wanted to go because of it. So.
Awesome. Plans for next year? Where are you going to go? What are you going to study?
I'm going to Michigan State University. I'm in their honors college, and I'm also going to be in the Lyman Briggs Residential College doing physics and math as like a double major, I think.
Awesome. And who's with you here tonight?
So my mom was here for a few minutes, but then she had to leave because she has work. And I wish that my dad could be here, but he also has work. So although my parents weren't here for a little bit, or they weren't here to stay, I'm really grateful that I have friends right there. And my family is supporting me because this week we have a lot of recognition. We have NHS tomorrow. We have Excellence in Education Wednesday. They're going to be there for all of that, and they were really sad that they couldn't be here to like stay, but yeah.
That's why we record it.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Friends all the way. Adeline Beard. So, Adeline is a four-year academic award winner who's also earned her AP capstone diploma. That means she's already passed 6 AP courses, their tests, and that includes research and AP seminar. She's a member of the Big Red Machine Marching Band, president of Model UN. Adeline, what's your favorite class and why?
Oh, AP Research for sure. So I took that one last year. Thankfully, Miss Chesney is my favorite teacher of all time. Like, hands down, she's made the biggest impact on me in high school. So I'm very fortunate to have gotten to take her class 3 years in a row. AP Research was just a door opener, world opener for me. I am a very career-oriented person, so it was really cool for me to be able to build my own curriculum with that. And I ended up writing my paper about cultural sensitivity in theme parks, which is a huge passion of mine. If I have talked to you, I will talk your ear off about theme parks for hours and hours on end. But it was just absolutely insane. I got to build a huge community in there. And then on top of that, I was able to use my work in there to foster some professional relationships with, I worked extensively with a professor from Purdue, Dr. Christian Rogers, and with his help, I was able to apply to the International Attractions and Amusement Park Association Research Symposium and present down in Orlando with the help of the Vicksburg Community Schools Foundation grant that I received. So that was an amazing experience.
That was awesome. And
Yeah.
we talked about this earlier in the year, but who was the youngest presenter there?
Oh, it was me,
Yeah.
by a lot.
Yeah.
It was funny because there was a lot of people there, and I was asked, I was like, so where are you doing your graduate program? And I was like, I don't know. I could not tell you where I'm doing my graduate program because I have not yet decided where I'm going to do my bachelor's. And they were like, what? And there was like other professors there presenting. There was doctorate students. There was master's students. I was the youngest in the room probably by 10 years. It was absolutely bonkers. I wasn't prepared until I walked in, and then I was like, oh, you all are much older than me. But
So what are your plans now for next year, and what's your course of study?
I'm also going to Michigan State University next year. I am through the Honors College studying experience architecture with a focus in theme design, and then a minor in Spanish.
Awesome. And who's with you here tonight?
My parents, Amanda and Brandon Beery, are here, and then my little sister, my best friend in the whole world, Ella Beery, so she's here as well.
Awesome. Adeline Beard. Sophia Brown. All right, so did we win?
So we were at a soccer game at Schoolcraft, up 2-0, but it unfortunately got canceled for thunderstorms. But I could make it here tonight.
Yeah, that's important. Renzel was talking about how busy everybody is, and Sophia was like, "Oh man, I'm really nervous about this because I have a game, and we'll see." So, four-year academic award winner, took 12 AP classes at VHS, recognized as an AP scholar with distinction, member of the Big Red Marching Band, Big Red Machine Marching Band, involved in theater. What position do you play in soccer?
I played the right outside back on defense.
Oh, nice. Do you like defense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've played it my whole life.
Your whole life? Awesome. Favorite classes, AP Art, AP Psychology, AP Literature. What do you like best about those classes?
I think I just like exploring like human connection and the minds and just understanding that, and I like to explore that through my art and AP Art, and I've really focused on like human connection and how time can change that.
Awesome. What are your plans for next year? What do you plan on studying as well?
I'm also heading to Michigan State University
Go green.
with the Honors College, and I'm studying psychology and sociology.
Awesome. And who's with you here tonight?
My mom, Melissa Diaper, and my dad, Don Bro.
Congratulations. Kayla Chisholm. You ready?
I'm ready.
So Kayla is a four-year academic award winner. She took 12 AP classes at VHS, also a recipient of the NHS Leadership Award. She played softball, volleyball, ran cross country, all at the varsity level. What is your favorite sport and why?
Softball. I've been playing it since I was out the womb, basically. And I'll be playing it in college, so gotta have some sort of love for it.
In position?
Infield utility.
Nice, awesome. She's a member of AIM Higher, NHS, and her favorite classes at VHS were AP Spanish and AP Psychology. She's also an Excellence in Education Award winner. Who is your significant educator and why?
Miss Koning, she's right there.
Wave, Mr. Koning. Let's give her a round of applause.
I chose Miss Koning as my significant educator because she takes teaching outside of just the job description and makes all of her students feel welcome in her classroom at all times. And despite only having her for a year, she's had one of the greatest impacts on me as a teacher, and she makes school feel like an opportunity as opposed to a chore.
Nice. Plans for next year? You said softball, so where are we playing
Yep,
softball?
I'm not going to Michigan State. I am going to I'm going to Eastern Illinois University, where I'll be playing softball, and I plan to major in nursing with hopes of specializing later on, hopefully in travel or aesthetic nursing, and I plan on minoring in Spanish as well.
Awesome. And who's with you here tonight?
My mom, she's right there. Hi, Mom.
Congratulations. Luke Deal. So Luke is a four-year academic award winner with a 4.2 GPA, a member of NHS, the varsity football and baseball teams. He was also all-conference, all-region, and all-state in football, and all-conference in baseball. Favorite class, strength and conditioning. What do you like best about that class?
Yeah, so I have a lot of like academically challenging classes this year, and I feel like strength is a good way to like challenge myself other than just academically, and it's a great way to like compete with my friends and bond with my coach as well. It also helps on the football field.
Awesome. Works at Dick's, Barrett Smokehouse, umpires for Little League, also volunteers for all the youth football camps, and you just found out you won a $2,000 scholarship for Arbor Financial. How did you win that scholarship?
Well, I applied. And, they liked my essay that I wrote, so.
What was your essay about?
I wrote about how I tore my ACL my sophomore year in football and how I came back and had a successful career.
Yeah. They mentioned in the email how well-written the essay was, so congratulations. So what are your plans for next year, and what's your course of
I'm
study?
attending Northwood University to play football, and I'm majoring in cybersecurity.
Awesome. And who's with you here tonight, Luke?
My parents, Brian and Heather.
Awesome. Congratulations. Maya Grossman. So how'd tennis go? Because another one that had a sporting event.
I won
There we go.
against Plainville, so, yeah.
Awesome. So Maya is the valedictorian for the class of 2026. Four-year academic award winner, graduating with a 4.54 GPA, AP Scholar with distinction, and has earned her AP Capstone Diploma. Favorite class is AP Seminar and AP Lit. What do you like best about those classes?
So AP Seminar just kind of like opened my world to research. It was just a beginning, introductory research class, and I got to learn about soft versus hard infrastructure, and you kind of get to shape your own research in that, and I got to learn about how we can incorporate sustainability in low-income communities, which was really interesting, and Ms. Kosiba also was a great teacher to introduce me to research. And then AP Lit, love Ms. Koning, big shout out to her. She does a great job just like leveling up, your writing skills, and she did a great job teaching that curriculum. So
Awesome. You're also NHS president, DECA state champion, student senate member, and a member of the varsity cross country and tennis teams. You were also an Excellence in Education award winner. Who was your significant educator and why?
So my significant educator is Mr. Wills up there, Coach Wills.
Raise your hand, Coach Wills.
He has had such a significant impact, just makes me emotional, but he has really shaped how I am as a leader. He is so enthusiastic. I work with him through the Vicksburg tennis camp every summer. I have since I was like 7 maybe, so at least 10 years of my life. And through that camp, he works with over 80 students every summer. He learns their name by the second day, and he is truly one of the most dedicated people I've ever met, and that inspires me every day in the way that I lead groups and work with people and communicate. So I am truly so grateful to him.
We also made a decision for where we're going to go to college
Oh,
next
yes,
year.
we did.
Yeah. So where are we going to go and what are we going to study?
Yeah, that was a tough decision, but I decided I'm going to go to the University of Wisconsin-Madison for pre-law, and specifically focusing on civil rights law or environmental law. And I don't really know what I'm minoring, but
Awesome. And who's with you here tonight?
my dad, Brett, and my mom, Katie, and my grandma, Deb.
Awesome. Congratulations. Maya Grossman. Haley Havera. All right, so Haley, four-year academic award winner with a 4.2 GPA, also a member of NHS, was on the varsity volleyball team and helped work multiple volleyball camps for younger students. What do you like best about playing volleyball and helping the younger students learn the game?
I feel like it really opened up my opportunities to meet new people and make new connections outside of school. And then I liked helping the younger kids explore something that I love doing and teach them that you can have fun in high school too and outside of school and make new friends along the way.
Awesome. You also said your favorite class is AP Spanish. What do you like best about AP Spanish?
Spanish has always been pretty hard for me, but Miss Lammers was a huge person in that and helping me learn it in a different way that I had never thought about, and she makes it fun every day in class and easier to understand.
Awesome. Now, where are you going to study next year, and what are your plans to study?
I'm going to Michigan State University, and I'll be majoring in business, and I'm unsure of what I'm going to do specifically, but business to start.
Awesome. And who's with you here tonight?
My mom and dad, Doug and Jody Havera.
Awesome. Congratulations. Are you a huff? So, Avi is a four-year academic award winner, graduating with a 4.2 GPA, recognized as an AP Scholar with distinction, also earned her AP Capstone Diploma. She also earned her Global and Michigan Seal of Biliteracy and was a star in 42nd Street. So tell us about that.
So we started working on tap workshops all the way back in September for the show that we just had 2 weeks ago. And I really got the chance to develop my skills over time in tap dance. And then we had auditions in December, and I found out that I got the part then, and I was so excited. And we would have rehearsals for 3 to 4 hours a night, so I would be tapping for that long, and it would be five days a week, and it was a lot of work. But theater is such a wonderful thing where you get to see an accumulation of all of the hard work that you've put in pay off in those big shows at the end, so it's so worth it.
And they say that tap is the hardest dance to learn, so most schools will not perform these shows because it's just too hard to get people to do well in such a short period of time. It was tremendous. You're also a member of the Wind Ensemble. You enjoy volunteering for ITS society, or camps, and that's theater camps. Tell us, what do you like best about being in ITS and helping with the camps?
I love being able to work with the younger kids who have similar passions to me in theater, and then taking those skills and making it fun for them, and then getting to see them enjoy what I also enjoy, and enjoying teaching it in the process.
So what are your plans for next year, and what's your course of study?
I will be attending the University of Michigan, and I will be studying data science and minoring in Spanish.
And who's with you here tonight?
My parents are here, Greg and Sarah Huff, and my little sisters, Blair and Sienna Huff, who will be starting their high school career next year.
Awesome. Congratulations. Michael Johnson. So Michael is a 4-year academic award winner, NHS member, and he earned his Global Seal of Biliteracy. He was also academic All-State in football. He was also voted Team MIP his junior and senior year for football and played travel soccer and helped coach kids' soccer camps. What did you enjoy most about coaching the youth in soccer?
So I remember as a little kid playing soccer in Kalamazoo, and it was just always such a great thing to get to play around with the other kids and look up to the other coaches, and I just hope to kind of help other younger kids to have the same experience that I had and, you know, help them fall in love with the sport that I love.
Awesome. You said here that your favorite class at Vicksburg High School was AP Psychology. Why did you choose that class?
First of all, like Adeline said, Ms. Chesney is an amazing teacher, and I think that she balances the student-teacher relationship as well as the educator-teacher relationship or educator-student relationship. And it just makes school so much more fun, and it helps you to look forward to something in your day. And also, psychology is going to help me with my major, which we'll get to in a second. But I just think it's a great way to learn to communicate with other people and just make relationships throughout my career.
So where are you going to go next year, and what are you going to study?
So I'm attending the University of Michigan, and I'm majoring in media communications and minoring in psychology.
Awesome. Who's with you here tonight, Michael?
Just my mom, Krista Johnson.
Awesome. Congratulations. So Tony is not here, Anthony Marquez. He's a 4-year academic award winner, a member of NHS. He earned the Global Seal of Biliteracy, was academic All-State in football, and was the BCAM award winner for basketball. His favorite class was AP Spanish, mentioned the same thing that a lot of people said. Miss Lammers makes learning Spanish fun. He enjoys volunteering for the Lions Club, community events, youth camps for both football and basketball. He also wanted everybody to know that when he's not studying or playing sports, he's playing Rocket League, where he's rated Diamond 3. So I had to look that up. That's in the top 5 to 10% of all players. So pretty good, I guess. He's attending Michigan State University to study mechanical engineering, and his parents, Tom and Mary, are super proud of him. Anthony Marquez. All right, Hannah Moyer. Also had a tennis match tonight. How'd it go?
We won.
Awesome, congratulations. So Hannah is a 4-year academic award winner, a member of NHS. She earned her Global Seal by Literacy and was recognized as an AP Scholar with distinction. Plays varsity tennis and is in the Big Red Machine Marching Band, also a member of Aim Higher. Her favorite class was AP Research. What did you enjoy about AP Research?
My favorite thing about AP Research was that we got to research or learn about a topic that we were passionate about, which I researched how hermit crabs are affected by noise in their environment, and I'm very passionate about animals and their environments.
Awesome. You also enjoy working for the Vicksburg Arts Youth Advisory and Kids Court Learning Center. You volunteered for a ton of Vicksburg summer tennis camps. What did you like best about that?
Like Maya said, Coach Scott Wills, he's very fun to work with, and I love seeing the kids every day and teaching them the sport that I love.
That's great. So next year, what are your plans and what's your course of study?
I plan to go to Western Michigan University to study elementary education and psychology.
Awesome. And who's with you here tonight?
My mom and dad, Jimmy and Chrissy, and my sister Avery.
Congratulations. Everett Radgens. So Everett is a 4-year academic award winner, a member of NHS. He took 13 AP classes at VHS and is graduating with a 4.39 GPA. He's a member of the track and cross country teams and is in the drum line of the Big Red Machine. Also, an Excellence in Education Award winner. Who was your significant educator and why?
My significant educator was my cross-country coach, Coach Will Heiss. He's been my coach for 4 years, and through that time, he's obviously helped me become a better athlete, but he's been somebody that I could come to and has helped me just as an advisor for a lot of skills in my life, and he's been super impactful to the person I am today, and that's why he's my significant educator.
Awesome. Fun fact about Everett, he can juggle, just won't do it in front of us. So we asked him to, he said he'll do it with a man.
Got 3 water bottles up here, let's see this.
He also volunteers for the Kalamazoo Drop-In Daycare, Meals on Wheels, and the Can Shine Bike Camp. Tell us about those experiences.
Yeah, so of those, my favorite was probably the I Can Shine Bike Camp. It was just a very rewarding experience. We worked with children with Down syndrome, and their goal was to ride a bike. It was a dream of theirs. And one week in the summer, you were a coach, and the kid I was working with was Will, and it was just super fun to see him work through the training sets, and very rewarding to see him ride a bike at the end.
Awesome. What are your plans for next year, and what's your course of study?
I'm going to Michigan State University, and I will be studying electrical engineering.
Awesome. And who's with you here tonight, Everett?
My father, Paul Radgens, is here with me tonight.
Awesome. Congratulations. Maddox Roslin. All right, so Maddox is a 4-year academic award winner who took 11 AP classes at VHS. He's a member of NHS and earned the Global Seal by Literacy. He's also a member of the varsity tennis and baseball teams. Maddox, you said your favorite class was AP Spanish. Why do you like that class so much?
Yeah, so first of all, knowing a second language like Spanish, even though I might not be very good at it, is really a valuable asset when you are going not only into the business world, but into the real world after college. And like most of my peers have said, Mrs. Lammers is just a really impactful teacher, and she takes the extra step and goes, beyond what is actually supposed to be taught. And she could tell you what everyone's weekends were like and what they got coming up. So yeah, it's just an amazing environment.
Awesome. Maddox says, again, haven't seen this yet, but he can solve a Rubik's Cube in 30 seconds. So kind of like Tucker, I'm taking their word for it, but that was his claim to fame. We asked him to do it. He said, can't do it. Yeah, but maybe, before senior walk, something like that, I'll bring a Rubik's Cube. Because it'd take me days. I'd have to peel off the stickers and everything. So. You also volunteer for Weinberg Farms 12 Baskets Food Pantry. Tell us about those experiences.
Yeah, at Weinberg Farms, it's owned by a elderly woman, and me and my friend Jake, we go over there and just help out with all the small tasks that, might be hard for her, are easy for us. So like, for example, lifting heavy boxes or bending over to pick weeds, just any way we can take some stress off of her. And then for 12 baskets, I sorted through all the donated clothes and just made sure they were ready for people that need them. And also help with the food drive, like loading up people's cars and making sure everyone's fed. So.
Awesome. What are your plans for next year and what's your course of study?
I will be going to the University of Michigan at the Ross School of Business, studying business administration.
Awesome. And who's with you here tonight, man?
My parents, Ruben and Liz Rosalind.
Congratulations. Solana Sutherland. How'd tennis go?
It was good. We won.
Awesome, congratulations. So fun. They all have different matches, so it's good, and it didn't rain on you at all, right? No. Perfect. So Solana is a 4-year academic award winner, a member of NHS, Model UN, and DECA, also recognized as an AP Scholar with distinction, plays varsity tennis, soccer, and cross country, where she was team captain. Favorite class, 2D painting and AP Psychology. Why did you enjoy those classes so much?
Well, I liked AP Psych. Like everyone said, Ms. Chesney is just a really good teacher, and I think the class does a good job of teaching you new things in different ways besides just like on a Chromebook or something. And then 2D painting was one of my favorites because I've always loved like art, and I think Miss Lacey does a good job of making like engaging like projects for us to do, and just like painting. So.
Awesome. You also volunteer for the Vicksburg Drop-In Daycare, Sunset Elementary, and 12 Baskets Food Pantry. Tell us about those experiences.
Well, the Kalamazoo Drop-In Daycare, I've been volunteering there for like 4 years every summer, and I just help with the kids. I like play with them, prepare their food, and it's just fun because I get to watch them kind of like grow up and make friends with them, I guess.
That's awesome.
And then I also do like the food pantry, like I said earlier, which is just loading carts, and then like Sunset, which was Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, every day in seminar, we would go over to Sunset and help the third grade classrooms like read and like help them do their work in small groups.
Fantastic. So what are your plans for next year and what's your course of study?
I'm going to the University of Michigan, and I'm majoring in GCN, which is biopsychology, cognition, and neuroscience.
Oh, awesome. And who's with you here tonight?
My mom, Sonia, my dad, Steve, and my brother, Sawyer.
Awesome. Congratulations. All right, last but not least, Jake Van Doren. So Jacob is a 4-year academic award winner who took 10 AP classes at VHS, is also a member of NHS. He's a member of the varsity soccer team where he was 2-time team captain and academic all-state. You stated that your favorite class was anatomy and physiology.
Yep.
Why did you choose that class?
I just found it really interesting to learn like how the body all works in like unison in order to like keep you alive and all the different systems that have to come together in order for you to function.
Awesome. It also says that you volunteered for a local farmer, 12 Baskets Food Pantry, and helped with youth soccer camps. What are some of the things you've done to help with that farmer?
So at the farm with Maddox and I, where we worked, it's for Stacy Weinberg, and it was a really interesting kind of opportunity because I wouldn't have been able to do stuff like that without the volunteering. So we, like he said, mostly we operated some like heavy equipment, like farm equipment. We've shredded hay bales, built fences, taken down pens, cleaned their barns. She's got like 5 barns, a lot of work. Just a bunch of stuff to help her out.
That's awesome. Now, next year, where are you going and what are you planning on studying?
So I'm going to the University of Michigan. I got direct admit to their nursing program. So with plans to become a nurse anesthetist after college, work with anesthesia.
Fantastic. And who's with you here tonight?
My parents, Corey and Jeff, and my grandparents, Jim and Sue.
Congratulations, Jacob Van Dale. Mr. O'Neill, I proudly present to you summa cum laude, class of 2026.
Well, congratulations to you all. Very, very impressive. Congratulations to the significant educators out there. What an honor as an educator to receive that. I know I'll see some of you Wednesday evening at the awards, but just going to encourage all of you to continue to finish this year strong and enjoy it. Make the most of it. It goes by fast. These next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, then open houses, that's a lot of fun. So I just hope you all have a great time with all of that. And thank you for representing Vicksburg Community Schools the way you do. I'm always so impressed. So thank you.
You're a very impressive bunch, and thinking the rigor that all of the classes that you took, back in the day, I went to a high school, did not have calculus, did not have AP classes, only had 2 years of foreign language. And here you are just doing amazing academic stuff, but I think even more important, the volunteering and the giving back, and it says a lot about your character. And that you are wonderful representatives of this community, of this school, and of your families. And for your parents, you obviously had a lot to do with these kids, getting them places and encouraging them and disciplining them when they needed it. And you should be very, very, very proud. And I can't think of a bigger honor and a more meaningful honor for an educator than to be recognized by a student, because that's why you went into this, to try to have an impact. And I heard so many names mentioned, and that's just marvelous. And congratulations to you, too, to have made a difference in these students' lives. Are there pictures to be had?
Yeah. Jessica, you want to come on down and direct? So parents, obviously if you want to stay for the rest of the board meeting,
It's fine.
it's always a good time. So we're going to kind of dismiss. We're going to have the pictures of the top 10 and the award winners that way?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we'll just take a little break so that if everybody else wants to clear the auditorium, you have time to do that. So thank you for coming and congratulations. I can finish up my report.
Okay. We'll get back in session, and the floor is Keevan's for the remainder of his report.
Yeah, just a few things I wanted to comment on tonight. If you recall, Lansing, they've been on spring break. They are back. And before spring break, if you recall, Governor Whitmer had issued her budget recommendations. So currently in Lansing, we have the House and Senate appropriations subcommittees. They're fully engaged in that process. So that work's going on line by line. But the big event that's coming up that we have our eyes on is the upcoming Consensus Revenue Estimating Conference. That will be this May. That will kind of be the final details that will have that updated revenue picture that hopefully the lawmakers will take during this process. And as we say every month, let's hope they deliver a budget on time, unlike last year. So I will keep you posted on that. Hopefully, I do have an opportunity to go to Lansing in a few weeks, and I'm hoping to meet with some legislators. So I'll keep you posted on that as well. With that, there's not much more going on in Lansing, but I do want to draw your attention to our important dates. And I want to thank Tamara. She really loaded a lot of dates in May in here, because here we go with senior events in May, even though we'll have a board meeting in May, just to have those on there. But this week, just a reminder to the board and the community that we have our last 2026 bond proposal community forum, opportunity to hear more, ask questions. That will be in the library this Thursday here at this high school at 6 o'clock. And then exciting for the high school, our senior day of service is also coming up. That will be April 24th, and I do know, if you know of any families or elderly people that need help with their lawns, they're always looking for that, so feel free to reach out, and we'll get Rachel King in touch with you on that. And then when we kick off May, of course, it's celebration season, so prom May 2nd. And then we have lots and lots of things. Again, I'm going to go back to, don't forget to vote. The election May 5th, a big day. And then we'll move into the half day on the 6th. And then our big senior walk on May 8th, where our seniors walk through all the schools. Always an exciting day. And then you can see the rest of the events coming up. Hardy Hustle, we'll have the senior honors on the 14th, and then the big night. Commencement, May 21st. Make sure that's on your calendar. 7 o'clock in the stadium. And then the following week, we'll have Pathways graduation. And so lots of exciting opportunities to celebrate our wonderful and precious children here in Vicksburg. Outstanding senior class. Looking forward to all these events as we move forward. And with that, that's my report.
Very good. We'll move on to reports on public inquiry. We have a dairy bid from Crust Farms for 2026-27 school year. Sarah Dyer will fill us in on that.
Good evening. I know we're wrapping up the school year 25-26, but we are looking forward to 26-27 in the food service department. So we sent out dairy bids to 3 companies, which would be Cedar Crest, Prairie Farms, and Country Fresh. And the only bid that we received on time was for Cedar Crest Dairy, which is our current milk supplier. And that bid would be for $92,619.28 for next school year. And that is my recommendation.
Is that much change from this year?
No, it's almost exactly the same per carton. So
Okay.
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you surprised to only get one bid?
I was. I thought Prairie Farms would probably bid, which they did, but they sent it in much after the deadline, so unfortunately.
Okay.
Is that who we had last year?
No, we've had Cedar Crest for probably 4 years.
Any other questions for Sarah? This is an action item below, so now's the time to get more info. Okay, thank you very much. Item 2B is proposal for Prism's VR math curriculum, and Denny Ream, okay.
Good evening, Board of Education, Superintendent. The Prisms VR math curriculum. So this year was our first year working with Prisms, and it was a pilot. We were fortunate enough to get a grant for the foundation last year for the equipment. So what we're asking for the next year is the student license fee. We're looking at the Algebra 1 and Geometry classes specifically, so around 250 students for next year at a cost of $15 per student license. What this grants is full access to all the software for Prisms, as well as the teachers getting to go in and see how the students are working through the virtual reality lessons and getting the data back from their success on those. So the reason we brought the Prisms VR to the high school over the last couple of years is our math department has noticed as we go along a lack of engagement by some students, so being very passive versus active during class. The purpose with the Prisms virtual reality is once you put those on, you're in it. All right, you can't do anything but go ahead and participate and be active in the class. It also answers for the old traditional question, why are we going to use this? Well, this is it. Each of the modules or each of the lessons through here answer a why for a specific content that we're going through in that class. The Prisms VR company has a lot of modules in the algebra and geometry realm right now. As far as the statistics and the calculus, they only have one module in each. Some of the advanced math, pre-calculus, they have a few, but those are all still in development. So we're going to stick with just the algebra and geometry for right now because that's where we see the most lack of engagement is with the younger students and really wanting them to get comfortable with the mathematics at that time. Some of the other things that we're looking at besides the engagement and the real-world applications is the development of the spatial reasoning, the 3D concepts, and seeing that, very important. John Hattie looks at discovery-based learning being a great way, as well as direct instruction to learn mathematics. Release a little bit of mathematical anxiety and foster a growth mindset in some of the students. Where we have seen a little bit of a drop-off is, think of this as a natural. When you're in a classroom and you're listening to the teacher, you can act like you're paying attention and going along and the teacher's answering questions, but they might not single you out, you know. But once you're in virtual reality and you're there, it's just you working through this. And so if you hit a bump in the road and you may not know how to go on to the next lesson or the next level or the next concept, it's you struggling through this. So to give the students the idea of resilience, a little bit of grit, problem solving, working through something that you might not necessarily know how to do. We have seen some students kind of push back on that, like, oh, I don't want to get on the goggles today. And it's not because they don't enjoy that part, but it is the part where it's you and you are moving forward and you are starting to have to learn, and you can't just be passive or look at somebody else's paper or, you know, ask the teacher a question every 2 seconds. I'm there to help, to guide, to give hints, but they're really working on this on their own, and that really strengthens the mathematical concept and development. So we're hoping to continue this partnership with Prisms VR for years to come. Our science department is also looking at this potentially for virtual labs and such. So do you guys have any questions for me about how we're using this and the mathematical concepts or the Prisms VR company in general? Yeah, Tina.
I don't really understand how so you're working through this thing, the student is.
Yes.
Oh, I don't get this. How do you get into that so that you can see?
Yeah, so I can see. So the nice thing, the license, if you don't have the license, I can't necessarily see what they're doing. They're just kind of going in there on the software at their own. There is a teacher dashboard with this, so I can quickly go in and kind of screencast and see exactly what they're doing. So I can help in that way, as well as if they turn their wrist over, there's another couple applications on here. There's a help button. They can get hints that way. I like them to go there first. But each of the teachers I suggested to go through all the modules first on their own. And as I go through them, I can see like, ooh, I can see where this area is going to be a problem. This area is going to be a problem. I write down or anticipate where I think students might have an issue. So I kind of already know going in, but being able to have that teacher dashboard, I can look exactly where they're at. I can see how many times they've done something, what they've tried. Maybe they're making a small mistake with a negative sign, or they didn't read the instructions properly. So that's an excellent question. So I'm glad you asked that.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
It would seem
Yes.
that your goal is particularly with the students who are struggling to try to bring them up. Did you see grades improve, that you were given less Fs and Ds?
That a little early to tell. It's kind of like more of a baseline this year. A couple of things we've done to gather data. One, at the end of each module, there's a soft survey. Students kind of are asked questions about the module. Did they like it? Did they learn from it? But then towards the end of that, there's a common formative assessment, which means there's at least 2 or 3 questions about the content there. And where I'm seeing the growth is, if I were to just teach this by me sitting in front of the class or talking about those types of things, some students would pay attention, some students are not. But where I'm seeing more of is when I'm looking at those 2 or 3 questions as assessments, I'm seeing growth there, and it's growth from all students, not just a small group of students that are choosing to participate. So that is really, I think, where we're getting our bang for our buck. Are there any questions there?
So how did you even decide to purchase it or to try
Yeah,
it?
excellent question. So after being more experienced in a few years with this, I think over the last 5 or 6 years, I've looked at, man, there just seems to be a lack of engagement or some disengagement by groups of students, especially after the COVID time, which is very understandable. So I started researching ways to get students involved. And we're doing other things in the math department besides just this. We're looking at some vertical learning things through KRESA, and we're bringing those in, more team-based approach to problems. But I eventually found this idea because math and physics are my background, and that's the creator of this program, Anarupa. Those have the same background there. And so I started reaching out to schools that were close because I wanted to see it first. And we eventually landed on Berrien Springs, and myself, Mr. Foley, and Mr. Bruss did a visit down there. We watched it, and specifically, as you had mentioned, we watched it at their alternative school. Students that generally would not have been successful or have not been successful. And to go in there and watch those students, how engaged they were, how they were learning. I could go through after a lesson and I started asking them questions about the content, and they were giving me the answers and they could talk to me about it. I thought that was pretty impressive. So that's kind of what maybe sold me on it, was going and watching it firsthand versus just the hardware and software itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions? It's fascinating.
Yeah, we're putting the kids, right in a nice tech way. Not only are they learning the math concepts, but, you see this on TV with kids doing robotics or people at Boeing doing simulations before they actually get out there into using the actual equipment. So we're also giving them an idea of how they might use this in a job in the future as well, potentially. Who knows what's going to happen in the next 10 years with tech. But
Jen, did you want to add anything?
Denny said it perfectly, I guess. I just wanted to take a second to explain that we do have a really involved curriculum review process when we take a look at our resources, and it's never the prettiest thing that we go after. We always are taking a look at our data. We are really taking a look at where we have growth, and as Denny mentioned, we had some growth to do in student engagement, and this seems to be a good fit for a supplementary resource. Yeah.
Any other questions?
These licenses, every year, does a student need a new license? Or?
yeah, it is a year-by-year license fee. If we do bring along the science, so it's $15, that gives you the math package. If science comes along with their virtual labs, it's an additional $5 only, so it'd be $20 altogether. Yeah, so it is a yearly cost, unfortunately. That cost that's in there also includes kind of the maintenance, the downloading of the new modules, any tech help or issues that we have during that time as well.
Is this for middle school and high school, or just?
They do have middle school programs. This is just for the high school at this point, but we have invited the middle school teachers to come over and take a peek and get involved themselves. We'd love to see them do that. There are actually more middle school modules than there are high school in here. No pressure.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for, going the extra mile to try something new and see if we can do better. Next is item 2C, proposal for purchase of Chromebooks funded by proceeds from the 2020 bond. Adam Walsh.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adam Wallace. I'm your Director of Technology Services here at Vicksburg Community Schools. Tonight, I'm bringing forward our annual Chromebook purchase request for the 2026-2027 school year. This request is a part of our regular device replacement cycle and is intended to ensure that students across the district continue to have access to reliable, instruction-ready technology. Chromebooks are a daily tool for teaching and learning. They support our classroom instruction, our local and state assessments, communication, and access to the digital resources our students and staff use every day. This purchase helps us maintain that access without interruption and keeps us from falling behind on our replacement needs. As we built this request, we focused on both instructional needs and fiscal responsibility. We are recommending that these devices be purchased through the REMC pricing rather than other distributors. REMC pricing allows schools to take advantage of education-focused cooperative purchasing and helps us secure strong pricing while maintaining consistency in the devices we deploy and support across the district. Board members may notice that Chromebook prices remain elevated compared to earlier years. A key reason is the current component market, especially sharp increases in memory and storage, has greatly increased, which continue to affect overall device pricing in 2026. This purchase also reflects a strategic approach to device selection. Rather than purchasing one model across the board, we are recommending a combination of the Lenovo 14M for our secondary students and the Lenovo 100E Chromebooks for our elementary students. This allows us to match the device to the level of need while balancing our overall cost. The higher spec devices are being purchased where that adds durability and performance, while the lower cost model helps us meet our broader student deployment needs in a more budget conscious way. The devices will be distributed across the district based on student enrollment, current inventory and device age, and replacement priorities within each building. This is not simply an equal split from building to building. It is meant to be an equitable and practical distribution based on where the need is greatest. In addition to the devices themselves, this request includes licenses for all 800 units. Those licenses are necessary part of the Chromebook deployment and management. They allow us to securely enroll, manage, update, and monitor the devices within our district's environment. We are also including protective cases for 500 units. This is a practical step to help protect the district's investment in those Chromebooks. The cases can reduce accidental damage, help extend the life of the devices, and lower the repair costs over time. It's important to note that the cases being purchased are intended for the secondary level only, as those devices travel back and forth from home and school. The cost breakdown is as follows: 500 Lenovo 14M devices at a total of $167,000, 300 Lenovo 100E devices at a total of $78,900, 800 licenses at a total of $23,600, and 500 protective cases at a total of $12,875. This brings the total purchase request to $282,375. Overall, this is a planned annual investment that supports our students' learning, maintaining operational efficiency, and reflects the responsible stewardship of our district resources. We're asking for the approval to move forward with this purchase so devices can be ordered, prepared, and deployed for the coming school year in a meaningful manner. Thank you. What questions may you have?
So is this 25 or 30% of the total number of Chromebooks? Are you, like, about every 3 years you're turning over, every 4 years? Is that-
Yep. So every year we turn over somewhere between about 25 to 30% of the fleet. This allows us to upgrade the incoming freshman class as well as the incoming sixth grade class, which gives them about a 3 to 4 year use on those devices. Which just, it's a much more significant turnaround time for us to make sure that we're staying in compliance with state regulations for state testing, which is one of the biggest needs for that change, as well as then the change in our elementaries to make sure that we are continuing to cycle out and keeping our devices between a 5 and 6 year window so that we're keeping reliable devices for their state testing as well.
The devices that we retire, is there any value to those?
There is unfortunately very rarely any value. Chromebooks, unfortunately, as well as much technology, as soon as you cross about the 6 to 7 year threshold, their value plummets off significantly. Every once in a while, there'll be a reseller that comes along, but when you look at the fees and shipping, because they won't cover your shipping fees, you're barely coming out even at times, unfortunately.
Steve, I have a question for you. We're
Yeah.
paying this out of the bond proceeds. Is the next bond proposal we would pay for technology out of that as
Yeah,
as well?
I mean, we have anticipated continuing this program with the next bond issue. So there are dollars allocated for
Right.
devices, network infrastructure, and that type of thing in the
Yeah.
next bond.
So that's $250,000 to $300,000 annually that does not have to come out of the general fund.
Absolutely, and it's more than, I mean, these are just the device
Okay.
replacements. I mean, when we're talking about, security and switches and updating cabling and access points and all of that stuff, it's, it's probably closer to $500,000 a year.
Oh, wow.
So it's a significant line item. I do want to just recognize Adam and tell him I appreciate, we've been talking about memory costs and all that, and, you really, I appreciate your due diligence and trying to find the best solution. We're going with REMC, but, you went beyond that to get additional quotes, which, REMC fulfills all our bidding requirements, but I appreciate that you went the extra mile to try to find some additional quotes, and so I just, appreciate your work on that.
Thank you.
So Adam, when do you need to purchase these though?
The current market is kind of all over the place. So the reason we wanted to bring this forward so early is so that we could take advantage of trying to get ahead of the curve. There is great urgency in the current tech world right now in terms of inventory, just from distributors alone. Last year, we ran into the problem of inventory fell very quickly, and unfortunately, Chromebooks came later than anticipated, which created a mad dash for the start of the school year to make sure we had devices for students. So we're looking to avoid that this year and trying to get ahead of the curve, and making sure that we've got those devices in hand and that we're not putting the stress on the staff or the students to get those devices in hand on day one for all of our needs.
Okay, so I don't understand. So we have to pass this bond to pay for this?
No,
This is out of what, 2021.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
The prior bonds, where we still have proceeds.
Gotcha,
I was,
okay.
in responding to Dave, I was just reassuring that we will continue to, if the bond should pass, we'll continue to have a dedicated stream of revenue to take care of that.
I see, okay. Makes sense.
Anything else? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Nice presentation.
Thanks, Adam.
All right. We saved the best for last, Steve.
Yeah, well, I'll keep it brief. So that might be the best thing I can do there. I'll just go through the normal monthly budget progress report, make a few comments, and answer any questions that you guys have. This includes activity through the end of March. And on a year-to-date basis, you can see revenue totaled $21,547,371. That's lower than it was at this time last year, both in terms of dollars and percentage. A large part of that is just timing difference. We'll have some additional revenue coming in. We've got some federal reimbursements that we're working on. We'll see those come in. And the other line, we've got some, we're just behind where we were at this time last year with certain payments from CARESA, and then we've just got some timing differences on the state. So when I consider those, we're a lot closer to where we were at this time last year in terms of percentages. On the expenditure side, total instructional expenditures came in at $13,484,000, just not quite 60%, and you can see how that compares to last year, a little bit below. On support services, those totaled $10,074,000. Again, pretty comparable to where we were at this time last year, a little bit below. And you can see there's breakdown for athletics and community services. And so total expenditures on a year-to-date basis are $24,663,000. If I look at the second page of that report, which includes expenditures by object code, you can see that salaries and benefits, year-to-date, $20,067,000, or not quite 62% of the annual budget. And that's a little ahead of where we were at this time last year, but not by a dramatic amount. And then you can see there's breakdown for purchase services, supplies, capital outlay, and other. And again, we're tracking pretty much as we would expect, a little bit on a percentage basis between this year and last year. So it's budget season for sure, and we'll be anxiously waiting for more developments out of the state of Michigan, including the May, as Kevin mentioned, the May Revenue Consensus Estimating Conference. Are there any questions on this report? All right, if not, then second item in my report this evening is just an update on the district's investments. This should all look pretty familiar to everybody by now. Investments are broken down by each of the different funds that have dedicated investments. We continue to see interest rates trend down, but very slowly at this point. So we continue to still earn, a significant amount of investment income. And just as a reminder, each of those funds, the building and site funds, the debt service funds, those are all legally restricted on how those monies can be spent. So when we earn investment return in those funds, the revenue has to stay with that fund. And you can see that we continue to do reasonably well on a year-to-date basis just for these accounts through MyLaugh. We have year-to-date earned $365,715. So, any questions on that? If not, then that will conclude my report.
Thank you, Steve. Our next agenda item is for public comment. Meetings of the board are open to the public. It's the time the board conducts the business of governing the school system in the public arena. This is not intended as a meeting with the public with ongoing dialogue. Staff may follow up with you regarding issues raised during comment time. Please exercise decorum and respect laws regarding privacy and defamation. Please do not refer to students by name. And speakers are limited to 3 minutes, and we have one person, the illustrious Dusty Morris. Oh, and you want to? You got the timer going. Thank you.
I'll try to keep it under 3 minutes.
Usually does, you're pretty good.
Well, thank you, school board and administrators. I'm Dusty Morris, president of VEA, and I'm happy to share these stories of our members going above and beyond for our students. Here's a fun story out of Toby. Tatum Odell led Toby in an amazing fundraiser for the Kids Heart Challenge, which raised $25,000 for the American Heart Association. Tatum also kicked off the annual Mileage Club program at Toby this week, and the students have already run hundreds of miles. They are encouraging each other, and they are setting big goals. Melissa Sparks, Jay Bennett, and I, as well as Tim Fuller, although he's not a member of the VEA, are very proud to share that 2 of our lead actors from our musical, 42nd Street, were nominated for the Sutton Foster Awards for outstanding performances. They will receive some private coaching and perform in a showcase that exhibits the best talent in Michigan high school theater. The adjudicators had lots of great compliments to say, but I'd like to share this one above all. Quote, "The choreography was exceptional, arguably the most impressive I've seen at the high school in quite some time," end quote. So that, of course, is big kudos to Melissa Sparks. As you guys saw and heard, her teaching them to tap dance. You heard Avi talking about how hard they worked all year long. It's pretty impressive. Some of our AP teachers at the high school were awarded an Excellence in Education grant and will be attending the annual AP conference in Las Vegas this summer. And also, high school teachers Allie Lammers, Lindsay Chattel, and Jesse DeConing applied for a Bardeen grant to attend the Michigan Association of Computer Users in Learning conference in Grand Rapids before spring break. They said that they learned a lot about technology from different experts, and they are already using this in the classroom to aid student learning. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, we move on to board action required. We have approval of the following board meeting minutes. Item 4A1, the minutes from March 9, which is our usual meeting. I need a motion.
So move approval.
Move approval by Tina.
Support.
Support by Ron. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Item 4B, approval of the dairy bid from Cedar Crest Farms in the amount of $92,619.28 for the 2026-2027 school year.
Move approval.
Moved by Tina.
Second.
Second by Lucas. Any discussion, questions? Okay, Lucas.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Tina.
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
And yes. Item 4C, approval of PRISM's VR math curriculum.
So moved.
Moved by Tina.
Second?
Second by Lisa. The back pain's moving things along here. Any discussion or comment? Okay. Lucas.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Tina.
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
And yes. Item 4D, approval of Chromebook purchase using proceeds from the 2020 bond.
So moved?
Support.
Lisa and Tina. Any discussion, comment? Okay. Lucas.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Tina.
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
And yes. Item 4E, we have approval to extend the following administrative team members' individual contracts for the 2026-2027 school year based on evaluations through 2025, 2026. And item 4E1, we have all the principals, A through G, and with the board's approval, we can do it that way. Kevin, do you want to make any comment about that?
No, just truly appreciate all the hard work and dedication that my principals and directors display on a daily basis. Very excited to have them on the agenda for the contract for next year.
And I move approval. Are you doing all?
We're doing all the principals, E1, A through G.
Okay. Yes.
And so we have a motion.
Second.
We got a second from Rick. And that doesn't have to be,
Yes.
oh, it is a roll call. Okay, Lucas.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Tina.
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
And yes. 4E2 are directors and supervisors and coordinators, and we have A through I as listed.
So moved.
Support.
Tina and Ron. Any questions, discussion? Okay, Lucas.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Tina.
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
And yes. Item 4F, approval to extend the following non-line position contract for 2026-27 school year based on evaluations through 25-26, and that's Tim Fuller, Performing Arts Center Manager. Why is that handled a little differently, Kevin? That's not listed as your usual directors. I forgot why that is.
Yeah, Tim isn't part of the administrative team, so it is just kind of a non-line position
I see.
in the district.
Okay.
I'll move approval on that. He's done an excellent job over the years, I think.
Second.
And
Agreed.
second from Lucas. Any other questions, comments? Okay, Lucas.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Tina.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Ron.
Yes.
And Rick.
Yes.
And yes, for me. Approval to extend the following contract as per contractual agreement. Item 4G1, that's Stephen Goss, our Assistant Superintendent.
Who is that? Move approval.
Tina.
Support.
Support from Ron. Comments, questions? I really personally appreciate that we have somebody who's an accountant doing this, and it increases my confidence in the financial aspects of the school, and I really appreciate what you do a lot, Steve.
Yes, for sure.
We all do.
Yes, we all do.
Thank you.
That's true. So did we have we did have a motion, okay. Lucas.
Yes.
Lisa.
Yes.
Tina.
Yes.
Ron.
Yes.
And Rick.
Yes.
And yes. Item 4H is second reading approval of the following policies, and we have H1 through H14. And just as a reminder, 6 of these are policies being eliminated because one that we've rewritten, and it really essentially is 2 separate policies that apply to different groups, so it's not as many as it looks. And this is a second reading that we had, and if, with the board's approval, we'll try to, if we can knock off all 14 of them at the same time, that would be.
So moved.
Moved by Lucas.
Support.
Supported by Tina. Questions, comments? Okay. Lucas?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Tina?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
And yes, and with that, that concludes our business for the evening. It was a very enjoyable evening. Thank you all.